Hi.
Hi, Ellen. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Brenda?
Good, good.
We're here with Brenda Devine, and we are in the Kornr, neighborhood Kornr store.
Yes.
It is a small grocery store in the middle of the Northwest Goldberg neighborhood. And Brenda is the developer, and she's also the proprietor that runs this business. So, Brenda, what inspired you to do this?
Okay, so I had already been developing a small scale retail market, and the idea was to have something that could be duplicated. And then I started looking for places. I had an offer on a property in North End that fell through. A friend of mine, Rachel Downs, suggested that I come over to this neighborhood and look at it. And when I got over here, I liked it. It was quiet, it was well kept. The building didn't have any damage to it. It's a 100-year-old building. And prior to that, I had been doing research on the different strategic neighborhoods. And what the common stream through all of the planning reports was healthy food options, market demand for that, home goods, and also Wi-Fi. And I thought that strange that every one of the neighborhoods had the same type of comments, and that why could there not be something done about it? So I did not know anything about food deserts, and I thought that just seemed strange that you have to get up and go to the gas station or the dollar store to get food. And so part of it is aligned with my purpose, and some of it is just being proving a point that you can have small scale solutions as opposed to larger solutions. You can have smaller solutions, and then you just duplicate those solutions like over and over again.
So you didn't just step into this with no experience at all. You came from corporate America.
Yeah.
And at some point decided couldn't do that anymore.
Yes, I've got a 30-plus year in commercial real estate. I started with a boutique developer in West Bloomfield Hills, and then I segued into corporate real estate with a local educational, a local university, and left there. The other thing that's part of it, I've been in corporate and real estate for so long, there's a different perspective. And I said, I want to see what the reality is on the other side of the table. So I took classes at Capital Impact, and I realized that there was a huge disparity because I had been in a bubble all these years. And I said, the experience on the opposite side of the table is crazy because the side that I'm on, there's not a whole lot of, it's pretty easy. But on the other side, it's filled with a lot of challenges, I'll put it that way. So I purposely wanted to see what the other side was. I didn't know that this is what I was going to be doing, but it all aligned with me coming to the neighborhood, me aligned with the motto, and also aligned with my purpose that I feel for my life. So it all aligned, and I just said, I'm just going to step in faith.
So you're a very spiritual person.
Yes, I am.
Yes, and you've written a book or two, three books. Excuse me, there's a book over on the shelf.
Yes.
I want to understand the undertone of the books.
Oh.
What are the books about?
Do you already know what the books are about?
A little bit.
Oh, okay. All right. So the books are about, the core of every book is about discovering your purpose. As a Christian principle of purpose, understanding that you're here for a reason. Most people don't know that they're here for a reason. They don't know that their purpose. And so 10 years ago, I submitted my life to God. And then I tried to get a quick answer and run off. I was like, no, you got something else. So I ended up writing a lot of notes, studying the Bible, applying it to my life. And the notes ended up, I looked at them one day and it looked like a book. And I'm like, no, I don't want to write a book. And he's like, yeah, you're going to write a book. So I wrote a book. And then I thought I was finished and was like, no, you're going to send it to that person and they're going to look at it. And I was like, no. And it's like, yes. And I sent it and he read it and he said, you need to do something with it. And I said, no, I don't want everybody knowing all my business. And I said, okay, I'm fully naked now because everybody knows my business. So I'm going to write it. And that was the first book. And then out of the second book, it is a progression, because as you're in your life, you're progressing through life, and you have this overarching idea. My purpose, but my purpose is to tell people they have purpose, because most people don't know. And so out of that first book goes into me growing, and some of the things that I've learned, and the things I was challenged with, and the things that I had to get over myself, and just notes about that. And then the last one was written in the midst of the pandemic, where I was doing, in challenges, you pray more, you have a closer relationship, hopefully you have a closer relationship with God. And I just started reading a passage, and out of that passage, I just learned that basically everything is about love, loving God, loving yourself, loving other people. And if I apply love to everything that I do, then it works. And that's how it kind of streamed through. And so I have a ministry actually called Purpose 8 Institute, and I create content. So that's part of the content.
Okay.
Yep.
So that was the major inspiration. But would you say that you naturally were able to take risks in life?
No, I'm the oldest child. And I come from parents from Mississippi, and so you really don't have a whole lot of excuses. You just do what you're told. So I had to get good grades, and I like reading, and I like analyzing, and I like building things, and I just kind of ended up that way. And I'm very resilient, and I don't like to hear no.
I think I know somebody else
Yes,
like that.
yes.
I mean, I feel like I'm exactly the same way.
Yeah, I don't. I'm going to figure out how to change that no to a yes. So,
or just force through it.
I'm gonna come up with something. I'm gonna come through. Well, that's a yes to me.
Yeah,
that's a yes.
Well, you make it a yes, and you make it an absolute necessity. It's gonna have to happen.
Yeah. So I just push through it, and now it's just second nature. It's always been that way. That's just part of my makeup.
But this is especially challenging because I think when you were thinking about doing a development, you weren't thinking of being the proprietor of the development, were you?
I didn't realize what that really meant, because I did not.
You did a lot of leasing, I know, in your corporate job.
Yeah.
So it's not like you didn't understand how that works. It was more or less, this is what I have to do because that's going to be the best solution. I'm going to control it, I want to build it, and I'm going to run it.
I want to model it. So this is important. This project has a lot of different storylines and levels. There's a spiritual aspect, because I'm here for purpose. That's why I have that sign up. That's when people come in here, I generally ask them, how do you feel when you walk in? How do you like the atmosphere? I want you to feel good when you walk in here. If you feel good when you're in here, you're going to take that out. Or you're going to say, hey, why do I feel good when I'm here? And we'll have conversations. I'm constantly having conversations with people about things.
And I think you have grown since I've known you, and I've known you a few years.
Oh, yeah.
I just see you becoming more, coming out of yourself. And
I'm activating my gifts.
Yes, but you're also, that's how you're running this business, is by inviting people in, making them feel welcome, and providing something for the neighborhood, for when people gather together.
Yeah, I'm activating what was already in me, because when I didn't really understand the relationship with God, I wasn't activating it, because we have all these ideas of what we think we are because society tells us, but when we listen to what God tells us, then I can be confident in what I am because He put it in me. So that's why I'm just like, because I'm confident in who I am.
Well, you're listening to your spiritual leader, and I think in many ways, I don't know about other people, but I know when I do my work, I feel like it's not what I do, it's why I do it.
Yeah.
It's all
and it's
about...
a different thing. It's a different kind of tiger.
It is.
Yeah, that's where I have, so that's where I can have a food truck.
Oh.
I can have a food truck on the street. I have this space for activation, people to come, get their food, get their coffee, come out, and then that door right there, then you got to go. Can't stay all day.
That coffee shop concept's not working all the time.
Yeah, you can't sit here all day. No, you got to
in and out.
That's that door right there.
And what's upstairs?
Upstairs is a two-bed apartment.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Right?
So, well, not an Airbnb, right? It's not rented. It's just empty because I'm not ready to. I like it.
You don't want to give it up yet?
I'm not ready to give it up yet. I like it, so I mean, and it's furnished. So I've been a landlord a long time and a tenant, and so I'm not ready to pull. I'm not ready to pull it yet.
Well, when you are ready,
Yeah,
it will
Yeah.
help your bottom line.
it will. I'm not there yet. I'm still traumatized from
You're still trying
being
to
a
rest.
landlord and yeah, I've been both sides, personally and at work. So yeah.